Yes, we are live, sir.
Okay, great.
So, good morning, everyone, from Atharva Institute of Management Studies, and I welcome you all to IT Talks. Well, IT Talks is an IT awareness programming powered by IQAC. IQAC is an internal quality assurance cell. Through this, we have arranged this IT awareness programming powered by us. Initiated by us, we students and faculty of IT department tries to reach out everyone within the institute as well as outside the institute, where we will discuss general topics related to IT and tries to clear all the doubts. That's why we think there is a need of IT awareness in India and we want to share our knowledge, so we invite people who can tell us more. Well, my name is Chinmay Vanmali. I'm a student of Atharva Institute of Management Studies and a techno enthusiast. In the previous episode, Sir shared knowledge on real estate trends in lieu of COVID. Now we are excited to introduce a new episode of IT Talks. In this, we'll try to make this experience more enjoyable and informative to all of you. So, gentlemen, let me introduce our speaker. He is a senior vice president and a country head CRE, admin and infrastructure, Sharekhan. He is a board member infra enriched with more than 20 plus years of experience into diverse roles of facility management, administration sources and real estate as well. Apart from this, he has received recognition on various occasions in regards to leadership and eminent speaker. He was also featured as one of the India's best facility head in a magazine Commercial Design ITP. And with that, I'm honored to introduce recipient of the Indian Achiever Award, none other than Dr. Abhijeet Sarkar sir. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Chinmay, and thank you once again for this brief introduction. And I'm very excited to be here because the subject has been, very close to my heart. Although we spoke on real estate trend last week, earlier
Yes,
time, 2 weeks back. But then, being a facility head, I have seen the transformation or the journey from an administration to, facility head, and the journey has been very enriching for me. And what we see future, definitely we see that the facility managers have really moved from bottom line to a front line function. So the subject is really very interesting, and I want students to also be aware of the fact that what is this vertical supposed to offer for them as their careers perspective. So over to you, and you can take it ahead from
sure, sir. Definitely, it will be very beneficial. Okay, so viewers, let's begin with today's topic, that is careers in facility management. All right. So moving on to the first question, I would like to ask you, sir, why should people explore career in facility management?
there. Tell me one thing, Chinmay. People are doing MBAs, MBA in HR, MBA in sales and marketing, and I feel these kind of verticals have a very limitation. You prosper in terms
Yeah,
of money and designation and growth, but when you talk about challenges, when you talk about excitement, I don't believe any of this professional would able to derive. And why facility management is important, because that's the need of future. So now just give me a small answer, a very small or a brief answer to what I ask you. Presuming you want to join an office, any
yeah.
organization, what all things you will look into, apart from the package, salary, designation, that's the HR part. But when you join a workplace, what is there in your mind as an ideal workplace?
Idea of workplace, definitely they will provide me good salary, a good office,
Hmm.
a good workplace, a good environment over there,
Correct.
which is
So
suitable to my, yeah,
correct. So you talked about good office, good workplace. And when
yeah,
you talk about good office or a good workplace, it is just not a single word. To maintain an office or to maintain a workplace, there is humongous efforts which is required. The moment you enter into an office, you never understand, what sort of effort these facility managers are doing. So, the reason I am, encouraging people to join this domain is because it's a very big domain, and facility management is not about managing the facility. It is more about strategic thinking. It is more about safety, security, and environment. So it is a quite a wider subject as compared to any other vertical. So as we go about in the discussion, I will touch upon a lot of points which will elaborate why people should explore their career in facility management.
Okay. So similarly, talking about it brings me to the next questions. Like, is there a specific qualification required for a facility manager, sir?
Okay, so now when you talk about facility management is basically, it's all about integrating people, process, and technology. When you talk about integration of these three things, the result and the end result is the efficiency and the productivity. When you talk about facility management, it is not merely housekeeping. Earlier, when I joined administration after doing my MBA in HR, I joined at personal and administration department, wherein admin was just a nomenclature, and the role of admin was just to manage the front end reception and visitors, as well as some of the courier, as well as the cleaning and housekeeping part. But now as we see the transformation happening, the building are getting smarter. We have seen intelligent building coming into picture. The role of facility manager has enhanced, and COVID-19 has proved that the workplace, in order to ensure a safe and conducive workplace, the role of facility manager is going to be paramount. So when you talk about facility management, this domain is not confined to only housekeeping. As a facility head, you have to be very diverse in your activity. You have to manage sustainability. You have to manage soft and technical services. Your soft services include housekeeping, cafeteria, procurement, travel. Whereas your technical services includes all your technical services, right from maintaining the generator, maintaining the transformer, then maintaining the air conditions, and maintaining the AHU rooms, maintaining the server rooms. So that's how it is. So when you talk about a qualification, the qualification are diverse. It's not that a BCom graduate can only be qualified. Even an electrical engineer, I have got a team of three engineers and two architects working with me. So when you handle travel in a facility management, you can always look for some qualification in hospitality and travel management, or IATA certification. When you talk about managing the technical services, there is lot of opportunities for civil and electrical engineers to explore their career, because when you manage the building, there are a lot of elements wherein the engineering plays a key important role. So it's not necessary that engineers don't have to focus on only on those vertical, like which are related to manufacturing or sales. They can always explore their potential in facility management. We are seeing the smarter building coming into picture. There are a lot of smart buildings which are already in place, like in Agra and Varanasi and all those things. And these smart buildings are high tech buildings, and this can be managed explicitly by those people who come with technical background. And today, why we are struggling in facility management is the potential is huge. The demand for facility managers are high, but then we don't have competent people who can manage the show, because now from the conventional way of managing facility, we are moving to a technology driven facility management. So if you are MBA in HR, you also can join facility management, managing the soft services, because there are a lot of skill set required for stakeholder management, wherein your qualification in HR will come into picture. If you are MBA in finance, you definitely have a larger role to play, because you can manage a lot of sourcing activity in facility management, plus budgeting and other activity related to finance in facility management itself. So it's not necessary that you need to be a graduate of any disciple. You can be an engineer, you can be an architect, since facility management is all about real estate. While we build an office, while build a building, we require an architect. I have got an architect who works with me, who designs an office along with me, by working on an AutoCAD. So qualification as such, it doesn't mean that you need to be only a graduate, but there are several other disciple, like engineering, electronic, and mechanical and civil, which can also play prime important role in that. The reason I'm trying to push with most of the colleges and institutions to have a formal education for facility management, because today you have MBA in sales, MBA in marketing, MBA in HR. You don't have anything like MBA in facility management, though facility management is very emerging profession, and we see that in future facility management is going to definitely take a front seat. So there are universities in India like MIT and all who are offering MBA in facility management, but there are very few. So definitely people who want to go for a a specific profession, they can utilize MIT University for such kind of MBA, or there
Okay.
are bodies like International Facility Management Association who give you a full-fledged training of being a facility management profession, from where you can do a certification course. So if you're trying to exclusively look for a facility management education, then there are few institutes which are offering that. Or otherwise, if you don't want to explore that with the current background of finance or engineering, you can or HR, you can definitely mold into a good facility manager.
That's great, sir. You mentioned future of facility management. Similarly, which brings to my next question. Like, if we compare the current scenario, then what will be the future of facility management, sir?
If I have to talk the future, I have to take you back, down the line 15 years back, when we really started seeing that, the transformation journey of the facility managers coming into picture. Initially, there were no department called facility management. It was just a personal or administration or an administration. But today, in 15 years, we have seen, there is a major paradigm shift in this vertical, and it has become a more of a predominant function for every organization. So, in case an organization wants to sustain, they cannot sustain without a facility management in place, because facility management plays a role which impacts the profitability of an organization in an intangible way. Like, in case you are not able to provide an efficient workplace, there is definitely going to be an attrition. There is definitely going to be a dissatisfaction. People will leave the job and go to a different organization, citing an example that this organization is not in a position to provide me, a best prospect to work. So that's how it is. The impact of facility manager has a one wrong decision has a significant impact on the organization's profitability. So while I have seen, the role of facility managers has changed in last 15 years, right from managing housekeeping, we have moved to, managing building, we have moved to managing sustainability, we have moved to managing, green building. But unfortunately, what has happened, we are not able to derive the best, possible way out of this kind of, infrastructure, because most of the building are intelligent building and are governed by IoT and machine learning and so on and so forth. But then, since we don't have a competent staff, the data analytics and implementation is in stake. But COVID has proved that in case you have to sustain any pandemic or any crisis, technology is a key enabler. And in next 5 years, we will definitely see technology is taking key position in the facility management, and all those organizations which have not been exploring technology or which have been depriving themselves from technology, considering that as a cost, will now gradually start moving towards adapting it. And that's where the role of facility manager will change. And in next 5 years, facility management managers are going to reach a higher height, because today during COVID, facility managers are proved that to manage the business as usual, facility manager is the only person who can take care of their entire activity, right from bringing employee into office, getting the work done through him, and sending him back to his home. So entire aspect of his wellness, in entire aspect of his safety, entire of his aspect of a conducive workplace is something stands with the ownership of a facility manager. So in next
Yeah.
5 years, we will see, the workplace is getting transformed. We will not see, the conventional office in place. We will see most of the offices are going to be agile and collaborative. The, technology will get, larger role to play, and facility managers will have to be, like a chief health or a wellness officer, who is not only going to be responsible for the facility, but COVID has also proved that the wellness also is a paramount thing for an organization, to ensure that their staffs are in a best position of their mindset. So facility managers in next 5 years will get into a multi-dimensional role, And I don't see that, because in last 15 years, although the facility management is one of the domain, but the nomenclature has changed. Many organizations treat this as a chief, corporate services. Many organizations treat this as employee welfare department. So in next 5 years, I will see that facility management is getting changed into a different name, different nomenclature. But the future is going to be very significantly bright, because the workplace is changing, the trends are changing, technology and robotics will take over. Today I have got 10 people reporting to me, an example. But in future I will have 6 people, human, and 4 robots who will report to me. So there will be a collaboration of technology with, and there will be a collaboration of human with technology. So your department will be not a department which is managed by human, it is going to be managed by technology also. We have seen robotics playing very important role during this pandemic in managing, in cleaning the offices, in cleaning the facade of the building. But as time goes, as we see various vendors coming to picture, the services are getting into place. We will see robotic, machine learning, and chatbots are playing a larger role. So gradually, the future of facility management is going to change, and technology will take over a larger portion in next 5 years.
That was really interesting, sir. Talking about robotics, since I'm very much interested into robotics. Okay, so that brings me to the next question. Like, how is the business continuity of the organization dependent on facility management, sir?
Your organization cannot perform without a facility management, because to keep your organization up and running, the first and foremost important thing is to manage your data center. And your data center is heart of your business. The moment your data center stops, your business will stop. So facility managers are the one who take care of your entire data center, right from taking care of the technical part, and right from taking care of the soft and hygiene part. So your services cannot be completed unless there is a facility management people in place. I will tell you an example. When we have started seeing a lockdown being declared, we made all our facility management staff, who are into core frontline function, stay in the office. And these staff have been staying in my office since last 10 months. I cannot release them because of lockdown. Traveling is not possible. And we don't expect employees to travel in order to ensure that, the contamination is not brought into the office. Why they are required to be in the office? Because facility management is not about managing a facility, it is also managing a facility in detail. You manage the soft services, you manage the technical services. So when you talk about technical services, you cannot run a business without having a consistent power supply. So you cannot run a business in absence of having a very efficient humidity level, because your servers are very critical place wherein the temperatures and everything has to be very minutely monitored. The variation in temperature can knock down your server, and the way your servers are down, your business will come to standstill. So when you talk about BAU, BAU is what? Making your employee efficiently work. Whether you work from home, whether you work from office, but you need to ensure that your employees are equipped with all those infrastructure, enabling them to work anywhere in a very conducive manner. So today, COVID has proved that office is beyond a workplace or a or a commercial building. Your home is also your office. In last 10 months,
Yes.
we have seen many people have converted their home into an office. Part of the home has been converted into an office. Ergonomic chairs have been brought. The table, workstation table has been procured. The internet bandwidth has been increased. So when you talk about BAU, it's very important for you to analyze and understand what is the need of a business, how you want an organization to perform, whether you want everybody to come to office, or whether you want everybody to work from home, or whether you want the people to work on a split mode. When you do that, you come out with your strategy of managing the business and the function. So when you talk about a split mode, or making people work from office, or making people work from home, there is a lot of dependency on the technology and the support part. When people are in office, things are largely easier. But the moment people work from multi-location, things are very diverse. If I am working from home in Thane, if somebody is working from home in Kalyan, there are a lot of difference. Maybe Thane has a consistent power supply, but Kalyan may not have a consistent power supply. So
Yeah.
as a facility head, it's very important for me to understand the nitty-gritty of the requirement of every employee working from anywhere. If at all he is working on a place which has a significant power outage, I need to ensure that I provide him with the proper power backup, and with a consistent maintenance part. When he's working from home, I need to ensure that I provide him with something which will make his workplace, conducive. It should look like a workplace. He cannot work from a sofa set or a bed just to, ensure that he's working, because your presence of mind psychologically is more required. If you don't have a, environment which encourages you to work, you will never be able to work efficiently, irrespective you have been given a leverage of working from home. But even you work from home, you require all those facilities. So the demographics of workplace have gone beyond the office premises. And for facility manager, it's very important to ensure to keep the BAU in place. First of all, one thing they should learn from this COVID is their ability to work on the emergency preparedness, because tomorrow if something like this happens, the organization should not get disrupted. So they should have proper strategy in place. Like data center and all should be supported in such a way that even with the least or minimal manpower, you should be able to run the show. Today, since we don't have a technology in place, we don't have we require human intervention. But tomorrow, when we have robotics and all, even such pandemic happen from back in, we can just activate the robotic and he can manage the whole office. You just have to take a control, and rest everything is done by technology. So. You play facility management plays a very key role in managing the business and a function. The day you stop your services, even sales is generating a revenue, but to generate a revenue, there are a lot of back-end process which they have to do. Unless facility management supports those back-end processes, the deal or the transaction is never completed. So for managing the BOU, facility manager has a larger role to play, and with technology emerging, we will see things transforming like anything in future.
Yes, sir, absolutely. Now coming to you, Abhijit sir, how has been the journey in last 15 years?
Okay. So when I started, my career in facility management, it was never a facility management as such. I did my MBA and I joined, administration in personal and administration department, wherein I used to work more on the, employee engagement and, personal and industrial relation part. But as I saw, things transforming and the smarter building coming into picture while I was doing my architecture, I found that facility management has got a larger role to play in office management. While I found that HR is a very stagnant function that never gave me an excitement, I felt facility management is full of challenges. And from admin, gradually I've seen the journey or the transformation happening as a facility manager. So in admin, when I used to manage just housekeeping and cleaning services through my own employees, we have seen the concept of outsourcing coming in. That's how the IPCs and all emerged in India, and we saw that the cleaning mechanism has changed. The definition of workplace has changed with ITITAs and BPO coming into picture. They have transformed the type of workplace. We have seen the conventional workplace getting eliminated, and gradually the new age design coming into picture. And when we have seen the new age design coming into picture, facility management role has gone into a manifold function, while cafeteria management, dispatch, travel, and everything become a part of our kitty. So the role has got enhanced like anything. It is not only of managing the operation, but it is also strategic thinking. So facility management is always in a two part. One talks about the strategy, and other talks about implementation and operation. So in last 15 years, I have seen that this vertical has transformed like anything, and gradually we have seen IoT and robot technology being adapted. The smart buildings are in place since last 15 years. So it's not that technology was never prevailing. IoT was prevailing 15 years back, but unfortunately we don't have people who could analyze the data fed by the IoT. So as time progress, we will definitely see qualitative people coming to picture who will definitely be more passionate about the technology, and people who are investing on the green building or the sustainable building are really able to derive best out of it. So the transformation has been very engaging. I have seen, working from a broom and duster to working with, a vacuum cleaner and a robotic cleaning in office. So there is a lot of, transformation of journey. Standing in queue for food in an office, right? Then, booking food through an app. So there is a lot of transformation which has happened. Technology has played a lot of role, and we have seen, in last few years, a lot of millennials have taken over. So they have definitely transformed the expectation level to a larger extent. What people used to expect primarily before millennials joining is definitely not the same what millennials expect.
Yeah.
Their expectation towards workplace is altogether different. They will challenge you for what you are giving. They will question you for what you are giving, because if you know technology, they know technology better than you. So you need to ensure that you compete them, and that's where we have to ensure that every facility manager is equipped and in line with his skill set, so that he's able to face the community and he's able to manage and sustain their requirement to a larger extent. So I have seen lot of transformation happening right from the preferences change to technology taking over the larger extent. Right from being an engineer, it's not that I don't know technology, but then there is a lot I have learned on the IoT and robotics part in last few years. So there is a lot of learnings and implementation which I have seen in last few years.
All right. Talking about our topic of the day, like, sir, can you share your experience as a facility manager? Like, how you transformed yourself? Something.
See, as I told you earlier, when I joined personal and administration, I was, just working as a HR profession, managing, employee engagement and, industrial relationship part. But when I started, when our office shifted to a smart building, I saw, there are a lot of activity which is being done in the facility management, because these buildings are quite big, massive, and there is a lot of potential for a facility manager to play their role in ensuring the building management in an efficient way, because in a smart and intelligent building, the buildings and your offices are interconnected through a technology. So these all things fascinated me, and that's how I gradually kept my HR profession aside and started moving gradually towards facility management. So when I moved to a next job, I joined as an admin manager when I was initially working as an admin and HR manager. So gradually, when I started working as an admin manager, I started looking into more of a real estate part. I started looking more into the governance part, and that's how I started transforming myself into a facility manager. When I got into this domain, I found that there is huge potential. It's not about operations; it is also about thinking intelligently. It's all about utilizing the best possible way out of your available infrastructure. So when we moved to a premises which was completely green and intelligent, we created lot of synchronization with the building management. So that's how I felt that the facility manager has a significant role to add value to not only to their organization but also to the entire occupants. Maybe in a building you have around 15 floors, but not every manager, facility manager, would be as intelligent or smart as somebody would be. So it's very important that you do a concept of a facility management not only for your organization but your community management also. Today the definition of facility manager has changed, and it is no more a facility manager. There is a certification course which is coming for a designation called a community manager, because when you are managing a gated community, there is a larger role to play as a facility manager, because you need to communicate with the stakeholders, you need to communicate with the building management, and that's where your skill of a community management gets into picture. So when I started this journey of a facility management, I found there are a lot of technologies, and except architectural, and wherein architect and IoT and machine learnings are altogether a different vertical. But gradually technology is something which always attracts me, it always fascinates me. That's how I started getting deeper and deeper into this activity, and started my research on how the technology can play a key role in facility management. I started learning IoT. I started understanding how machine learning can be brought into business, how chatbots can add value to the experience of an employee. And there are a lot of technology which we adapted in our organization, which created a larger experience value for the employees across my country. When I joined an organization, a department of 2020 50 55 was brought down to 2025 by adapting technology. I have seen that there are a lot of activity which was done in a conventional way, manually, which was full of error. So I gradually started, bringing technology into place, and that's how I have seen that technology has resulted in creating an efficient result. So I created a benchmark wherein you can manage the show with a lesser people and maximum technology. So that's how my journey is about. So as I transform from an admin to a facility manager, I always ensure that I adapt technology and change myself with the change of time and with the change of technology, keeping myself appraised of what is going to be happening in future, because you should know future. That's where you can sustain your BAU, because facility manager has to see what can happen after next 10 years, and that's where you are able to manage your business today.
All right, sir. Next, I would like to ask you, sir, like how important is a stakeholder management for a facility manager?
So a facility manager is a single person on whom the entire organization is dependent, right from managing a cafeteria, right from managing a reception, right from managing a travel desk, right from managing the utility, right from managing a cafe, housekeeping and cleaning of a office or the washroom. So stakeholder management is very important. And why it is important, because when you start working in a very efficient way, you set an example, you create a benchmarking, and tomorrow, when you don't perform, you are challenging your own performance. And when you set an example before the stakeholders, you cannot bring down that expectation level. But then what happens, everybody cannot function 100% every time. There are a lot of dependency. You cannot be a one man army who can take the entire show. You have dependency on people. Sometimes someone performs, sometimes someone will not be able to perform to an expectation level on various reasons, maybe due to his family tension, due to his financial tensions, or other commitments. So in this case, what happens, a small mistake can impact your stakeholders. And how efficiently you manage your stakeholders, keep your escalation in place, because facility management means it's all about visibility. What you do is seen. If you don't clean an office, it will be seen. If you don't clean an washroom, you can a user can understand through an experience, in view of the stink and everything lying around. So everything you do can be seen. So when you do something, and if you not do up to the mark, things start getting escalated, because facility management impacts the workplace directly, and that can impact the employee's performance. Just for an example, if my workplace is not clean, I will tell my boss that I will not sit and work unless this is clean. But the moment you get into a stakeholder management, you can, avoid the escalation, but you can also ensure that you don't disrupt the business continuity. You will always ensure, based on your relationship with the customer, you can, eliminate any kind of differences or escalation happening. And you can always manage the show without any kind of, grudges or any kind of, anger within the customer's mind. Because the more you are flexible and approachable, the better is your efficiency. Your efficiency is not only by what you deliver, your efficiency is also by how you manage your customers. Because tomorrow, if you buy a TV from a shop, and suppose after 10 days, if at all you don't get a service from that TV shop, you will definitely never go to that shop. Ideally, the shopkeeper is not supposed to give you service, because the moment you buy a product, you are supposed to do an online booking, and you are supposed to ensure that the complaint is logged and the services are being delivered. But the moment you approach him and he says, sir, you don't get into all those things, I will help you out and get all those things done on your behalf. That's where the customer engagement gets enhanced. And what will happen, today he has created a band for you. So tomorrow, if you have to buy anything, you will say, no, I will go to this shop because he stands with me as a personalized services. And tomorrow, if at all, because he has created a relationship with you, tomorrow it happens that you buy some product, and if that product goes for a toss, and you complain to him, and if he is not able to manage your show, but based on your relationship, if he says, sir, give me 2 days of time, I'm tied up, you will definitely uh, forgive him. Okay, fine, because in last 10 times you have already stood with me, you have kept that engagement, so that's the reason I will also cooperate with you. So the moment you get into personal customer engagement, your stakeholder engagement, things become easier for you. The more you start, facility management is all about discipline as well, because you cannot do anything beyond the processes. As I told, it is, facility management is all about integrating people, process, and technology. So you cannot prejudice any of these parameters. But having said that, because the process has to be in place, you just can't offend your relationship with people. So that's where your skill of a stakeholder management comes into picture, and it also substantiates how better you manage your customer, so that your customers are happy, satisfied, and they don't go back to management and trip that my facility manager is a very cool guy, he doesn't support me, so I am not happy with this department. And tomorrow when he goes out, first thing he will say, the office environment is good, but the facility manager is bad. So that's how it is. The more you are conducive, many times people don't leave office because they know office may be a normal, but the facility manager is all guy. If the guys are good, anytime I require a support, they stand by me. So your customer and stakeholder management plays a critical role in managing the business continuity for an organization.
Well, last but not the least, sir, what kind of trait an ideal facility manager should possess?
See, first thing is, he should be a very balanced person. He cannot be biased because facility manager management is all about managing a community. And when you manage a community, you cannot be, thinking only of doing something for someone and not doing something for others. So you have to ensure that you balance people in a very efficient way. He should have a vision to foresee the future, because like what happened, COVID was unprecedented. Nobody knew what is going to happen. In December we saw the pandemic being declared in China. In January we see that WHO declaring this as a pandemic. And we have seen how European countries have started interacting. But only it is our skill. We saw that things can go worse, and we started doing our emergency preparedness. We ensured that the day lockdown is prepared, my sites are already under safe custody. My people were already deployed 15 days back before the lockdown could be even talked about or declared. So you should have a vision to see what can happen in future. You should have a very balanced personality, because anger has no role. There is a process, but you cannot make people follow process through your control. You cannot be a dictator. You have to be an enabler. You have to be somebody who should be approachable, who should be accessible. You should have a managing team. You should be in a position to groom people. You should be in a position to create leaders, because today facility management is a vertical which was always in silo and unknown. But the vertical is quite big, and it has gone up substantially in last few years. So as a facility manager, you should have a capability to nurture people and talent and give them back to the community, because community badly requires good facility managers. You should be a person who should be self-disciplined, because there is lot of integrity and ethos involved. And as you manage procurement and other function, wherein there are chances that people may influence you. People may influence you by various analogy. You should be very disciplined. Your ethics and integrity should be very strong. Your communication has to be very explicit, because when you communicate with people, one wrong interpretation can go for a toss. It can create unwanted hurdle, and where you will land into trouble. So these are some of the traits which an ideal facility manager should possess.
All right. So we have got a question from Akshar
Yeah.
Jain, that what
Okay.
specialization course can we do to build a career in this field?
Chinmay, when we spoke about this in some of the questions, I said that
Yeah.
there are very few institutes in India who are offering a specialized course in facility management. But then facility management is a facade of various functions. Like when you take care of facility management, it involves travel and hospitality. So anybody with diploma or a degree in hospitality management can fit into a facility management. A BCom can also fit into a facility management, wherein he will play a critical role in managing the soft services, as well as the budgeting and planning part of things. Engineers have a larger role to play, because today everything is getting technology enabled, and facility management has a key role in managing soft as well as technical services, and whereas technical services play larger role in keeping your business continuity up. So when you manage a premises, or when you manage the entire building, you have to be an engineer of any domain, which can be civil engineering, because there are a lot of plumbing and other civil related issues. You can be an engineer in electrical domain, because there are a lot of electrical parts or equipment wherein the dependency of a workplace lies. So you can study engineering, and you can move yourself to a facility management. You can do project management, and can PMP course, and you can come to a facility management, because project management is also a part of facility management. You can do MBA in HR and come to a facility management, because strategic and people management plays a larger role. While you manage soft services, your HR's qualification will help you in managing the entire contractual stuff. You will understand how the outsourcing mechanism to be invoked, and how it should be managed. You can be somebody who can do MBA in operations, because facility management is all about operations. So there are a lot of
Yeah.
a lot of subjects available in the in the institutions or the universities, wherein you can do and move. At when I joined, everybody used to come into facility management accidentally, because those people who never got any job by doing BCom or BA used to come, by default. They used to say, since we don't have any other career to explore, we came here. But today it's not. Facility management is exclusive function as your HR and sales are, and it is much at a higher level as compared to those functions, because a facility manager is a key enabler managing a business. So there are a lot of qualification, and any qualification will drive you to facility management, because the branches are quite wide. If you do something in travel and hospitality management, travel is one of the important function in facility management, because it's not only of the corporate travel. We also manage incentive program for our employees, wherein we take 1,000 to 500 people across international travel, or across the country, to have meetings and incentive programs. So travel also has a very vital role to play. So anybody who can do a diploma or a degree in travel management has a larger role to play. So the qualifications are diverse. If you talk about explicit specialized courses available, they are very rare, and we are also, as a fraternity leaders, taking up with the government and the institution to integrate facility management as one of the syllabus, so that people who would like to explore facility management as their career, specialized degree will justify them to be a qualified facility management profession. Because today, even if you go as an engineer, you don't go as a facility manager. You go there out of the role requirement. But tomorrow, when you go there, you will go explicitly as a professionally qualified facility manager.
Okay. All right. So, okay. So, gentlemen, talking about the previous episode with Sir, episode number 8, we had touched the concept of facility management then as well, with the topic real estate trends in lieu of COVID-19. And there was a great response, and I want to thank all our viewers for love and support. Well, there are some questions asked by the students regarding the topic. So this
Okay.
will be, sir, a quick Q&A sessions.
Yeah.
So we have filtered the questions, cancelling the repeated ones, and only choose the important questions. Okay.
Perfect.
So should we start?
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Definitely.
Okay. So the first question is asked by Lalit Kote. What do you mean by facility management?
Okay. As I think we have discussed in the beginning of this,
Yeah.
facility management is all about managing the facility. But I will make it further simpler. Managing the facility. If you join an organization, I will talk in a layman's language. If I have to join an organization, what I will look into those organization is, what is the facility this organization is offering me. Salary designation is a different part. It is a part of HR. But the moment I join an organization, why people join Google, why people cite Google and Microsoft? Because of their facility, because of a workplace they offer to their employees. They create a benchmark. And today the attrition rate in this organization is hardly anything, because people don't want to leave that workplace. They are so attracted. Today, most of the employees, they say one thing, irrespective of what salary we get, definitely salary is one of the criteria. But for us, the bigger criteria is, how is my workplace? Is it really a very traditional, a very conventional, or really a new age office? Because when you talk about a new age office, things are differently different. So when you talk about a facility management, facility management is all about an experience of an employee, right from leaving his home to an office, and from office going back home. So there are level of services which he experienced. The first thing itself is the transportation part. So a facility manager has to play a key and important role of a transport manager. So you need to ensure his seamless travel right from his home to office, and vice versa. When he enters into an office, his entry and exit into an office plays an important role. How efficiently is getting access to an office, because you don't have to stand in queue and wait for putting your access card. So you should have a technology in place, wherein your technology manages everything. The moment you enter, your attendance is captured, your times are recorded, and everything is done. Even today during COVID period, there are sensors available which also senses that whether the person has any ailment or not. And the moment the sensor senses that, the person is not even allowed to enter. So that's the role of a facility manager, to create an infrastructure in such a way that employees' experience become a very conducive. The moment I come into an office, I should have a workplace wherein I should be able to enjoy my entire day, because at the end of the day, it's not the stress which should drive me. It's the experience which should drive me. It should motivate me. I should be more productive and efficient. At 15 years back, 20 years back, nobody was even aware of what is the CO2 level in office. But with the IoT coming to picture, we all know how to monitor the air circulation, how to manage the fresh air, how to manage the CO2 level, because there were all, and these are called ergonomics. These are called all workplace hazard. So a facility manager's management is all about managing safety of an employee. It is not safety only from the point of view of fire and other hazards. It is also in safety from the point of uh, 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 employment hazard. Like if you are working in a workstation, you should a facility management is about creating a workstation in such a way that it doesn't undergo stress. So role of facility manager is all about creating experience. Cafeteria, food is something which is always a challenging thing. So you should ensure that the quality of food is in such a way, the cafeteria is managed in such a way that your people, who many people are dependent on your cafeteria, because we have many employees who stay alone. They come to office, have their breakfast, have their lunch, carry a dinner back home. So
Yeah.
the level of services you are providing to them matters a lot, because he's not cooking anything at home. So the level of vendor you are bringing, the level of hospitality services you are providing matters a lot, because his entire dependency of food and catering is on the organization. So what quality of services you are offering is basically adding a value to it, because tomorrow he should feel, no, if I join some other place, maybe I will not get the advantage what I'm getting here. So these are the element which can consider the engagement of an employee, and that creates the loyalty. So facility management is all about managing people, process, and technology. You cannot do anything without having a process in place, without making people follow the process. Just for an example, if somebody has to travel, nobody will just say, you just take out a ticket from me, because there is a process to be followed. Why there is a process to be followed? Because there are various eligibility, there are various cost center, there are various budget. So facility manager also has to ensure that he honors those budget, and that's where the process is coming to picture. Technology plays key important role, because how efficiently you make technology work, how you integrate technology with people. Because tomorrow, if somebody has to raise an intent, he will use technology to connect with people. So that's how collaboration of technology, people, and process is very important. So facility manager is big domain, and some of the roles played by facility managers are he's your canteen manager, he's your security manager, he's your fire and safety manager, he's your sustainability manager, he's your transport manager. So it's a wider role. It's not a single role which can define a facility manager, because facility management is one vertical having at least numerous sub activities under its umbrella. Tomorrow, if your air condition is not working, it's the facility manager who is responsible for it. So ensuring a predictive maintenance by virtue of technology is something which your facility manager has to take care of. So his role is quite wider.
Okay. Well, next question again by Lalit Kote. So, what is the role and usage of it in career management?
Career management, definitely we are looking for a lot of facility manager. I just give an example. I have a team of an architect, an electrical engineer who have come to facility management by choice, not by an accident. Because they felt that there is lot which they can do. Just for an example, if you are an electrical engineer, you can manage the technical facility, whereas you can manage all the technical procurement. Because facility manager is management is not about managing the facility, but it's also how efficiently you manage, and end-to-end supply chain is more important. So there is a lot of advancement in facility management, and the future is very bright. And we have seen there are already smart buildings which are emerging and coming, and maybe next 10 years we will see almost 60 to 70% of India moving to smart technology. When we move to a smart technology, who is going to drive this smart technology? Because when the concept of smart city was launched, we as a leader approached the government and requested them, why don't you create a curriculum so that we get a facility manager? You are creating a smart city, but do you have a resource to manage it? You don't have a resource. So the opportunity for facility manager is going to be a wide. And remember, it's an internationally recognized, profession. I am a fellow with Royal Institute of Chartered Surveyor, London, and I'm a chartered real estate profession, having my registration valid all across the globe. I can join any organization across the globe based on my chartered qualification. So there are a lot of avenues available. It's not only in India. If you see Europe and Middle East or in US, management is considered to be one of the top-notch profession. So the future of facility management is very bright, and we are encouraging students to understand the nitty-gritty of facility management and transform. Unless you have your own agenda to explore your career, that's fine. But if you are really confused, then definitely give a look to facility management as one of the potential sector. It is just not an accidentally you need to join there. You need to join by passion. You need to join by your option of understanding that this opportunity will are wide and you will definitely grow. And the salaries are also not too less. You will get a very decent salary in facility management because organizations have understood in case they don't pay facility managers, business can't sustain. So the
Yeah.
role of facility manager is very critical, so as is salary. So that's how the role of the growth of prospect of your facility manager is about.
Well, next question is asked by Mayuresh Pavaskar. He's asking
Hmm.
about the various levels in this field.
Levels in terms of you are talking about hierarchy levels, if I have to say.
Uh, yeah.
So, see, when you join facility management, I told you, when you talk about sub functions, there are various. So I would not repeat those sub function as a label there. But when you join facility management as a function, and if I have to talk to you about a level, you can start your career with a fresher and start as a senior executive administration. Maybe gradually you can grow into a facility coordinator. Then you can gradually grow into a facility manager, and then finally into a facility director. And today we have seen facility management has moved into a boardroom. There are various organizations which has one of the director who's representing facility management as a vertical. So you can go to a boardroom, and that's the avenue of a facility management is all about today.
All right. Well, sir, next question is asked by Shivang Sharma.
Hmm.
He is asking what is expected from a fresher in this field as a deliverable.
So when we expect, when we hire an intern or a fresher, basically it is a very entry level job. We expect him to learn the foundation of a facility management, and facility management is not a very easy subject that you can get anyone to do anything. Like for an example, if you want somebody to manage a cafeteria, you cannot expect a freshers to come and take over the cafeteria before understanding the nitty gritty of a cafeteria. So when he has to join an organization, first of all, he should understand the basics, and the basics will include anything, right from doing a data entry job, right from managing and coordinating with the vendor and understanding what are the functions, then right from coordinating with various departments, understanding what sort of need comes in, because to understand the demand and the support, he needs to be explicitly involved in coordinating with people. So there are a lot of coordination work which he has to do while he joins, and then he can be assigned with a responsibility. Maybe you can join as a trainer and you can get into every domain of a facility management. Like if I take a fresher, I will put him in managing payment process for a 1 month of time. Once he learns that, then I will move into a travel desk wherein he will understand the nitty gritty of a travel, wherein he will try to understand the basic requirement of travel, that how it is indented, because facility management is all about a multitasking. You cannot have a one person managing that profile vertical exclusively. Tomorrow you have to have a redundancy or a backup line, so everybody has to be working on a rotational basis. So once he is through with his travel, I will move him to cafeteria management, so that he understands the nitty gritty of a cafeteria management, which also involves stakeholder management. So fresher, basically when he joins of any disciple, we put him on a training or on OJT, what we call on job training, for 4 or 5 months for him to get well versed with the subject, because freshers may come out with, and today, as I said, since there is no explicit qualification for facility management, he has to learn everything right from scratch. If somebody comes with a MBA degree or something of that sort, at least he will have the basic fundamentals in his mind. But in absence of those fundamentals, I have to, start right from scratch and teach him what facility management is about, what stakeholder management is about, how to manage a cafeteria, what are the processes that he needs to manage. So process management is first thing which you should learn. So it's all about, starting from scratch, learning the organization processes, understanding the objective of organization, then gradually grooming himself towards, his journey towards the facility management.
All right. Moving on to next question, sir. Is asked by Akshar Desh Lara. Is asking what are the main companies for facility management?
See, in India, if you see, there are more than 1,000 companies into this domain, because today it is the most easiest function to for any SME or startup to start his business, because you don't require an investment into that. It is all about, manpower. But then if you have to really see a specialized or a skilled professional services offered, I have seen it's only the international property facility management companies who are able to demonstrate, because these are the companies which brought the culture of facility management in India. Otherwise, it never prevailed. But in US and UK, it prevailed since 80s or 70s. But in India, it came very late. So if I have to talk about company like JLL, CB Richard Ellis, Cushman Wakefield, and Knight Frank, these are the prominent companies wherein, most of the management students who do their engineering degree, or they do their MBA in, built environment, or MBA in real estate management, they joined as an intern and groom their career.
All right. Moving on to next question, which is raised by Mehul Parmar. Is asking, sir, what is the scope of facility management 5 years down the line?
The scope is very wide. If you see in our previous question, session, when you asked me what is the future of facility management, scope is very high. And we have seen, I personally have seen journey, what it was 15 years back and what it was in last 1 year. Because this 1 year we have seen the whole definition of workplace change. Everybody is working from home since 1.5 year, but it's not that, because people are working from home, the activity or the role of facility managers has reduced. No, it hasn't. It has increased gradually, because you have earlier you used to have only one workplace. Now you are having 1,000 workplace, because you
Yeah.
need to handle 1,000 people with 1,000 different queries. Today he may have one person sitting at home may have a query of his documents not reaching in time. He may have a query of his laptop not working. He may have a query of his data card not working. So you have got a demographic gone into an extended version. So your roles and responsibilities are going to enhance. And with the technology coming into picture, the next 5 years things are definitely going to be very different. We will see, a lot of IoT and robotics playing a very predominant role in every workplace. We will see, organizations are more inclined to understand that how are they able to optimize their, workplace efficiency. Because once COVID goes, people will definitely sit on an office of larger workplace, floor plate, because the trend will change. We will have a new model of hybrid coming to picture. I have seen a lot of research reports across the globe which clearly says that employees are no mood in getting into office. It's not that they don't want to office, they want office, but then they are more inclined to work from anywhere. They don't say that we want to work from home. They say we want to work from anywhere. Tomorrow if I want to travel to my cousin's wedding, I should be able to work during my journey. I should be able to work at his place. I should be able to work in my native place for 2 months rather than applying for a leave. So if you see, in last 1 month we have to 1 year we have to force people to take leave, because there are no leaves. Nobody is required to take a leave at all. It's not because people are not able to travel, but people are able to work from anywhere at any given point of time. So that's how, the demographics are going to change, and so as your responsibility, so you have to ensure that you track your employees efficiency, you track your efficiency of real estate. You play more strategic role, because now till now most of the facilities managers were playing the role of an operations manager. But down the line in next 5 years, you will play a larger role in, attaining the objective and reducing the operational cost of an organization. But at the same time, employee well-being and, the efficiency of employee which is required to be managed, since most of the people will work from home. You will have to be a very very expert in managing their workplace, at a different demographic. You need to ensure that your workplace is created in such a way that you optimize that in larger scale. You will not have 1,000 office work with 1,000 workstation. That 1,000 office is going to become an office with 500 workstation, but you need to ensure that your 1,000 employees are able to use that 500 workplace. So how you are integrating technology and IoT, and sensor based mechanism is which where you will have to play detail and analysis. So in 5 years, we will see the role is changing. Facility management will not be as conventional as it was. It will be more of an intellectual and a smart activity. It will be an activity which will derive more of a technology and collaboration. The collaboration will be at much higher scale than what used to be in past.
That's really great, sir. One last question, sir, asked by Akshar Deshlara. Like, what specialization course can we do to build a career in this field? Like, since we have discussed this, but can you just give a short,
Anyway,
quick?
I will tell you, since you just keep a watch of various institutes that are offering specialized course in
Yeah.
facility management. As I said today, it's only Amity University in India which is offering, but in overseas you will have a lot of universities which are offering courses in facility management. Whereas in India, International Facility Management Association, which is a international association which provides you a title or a certification course in facility management, which much nurtures you into a certified facility management professional. So you can definitely, before you move into a role of facility management, you can learn your basics of a certified professional manager, so that when you apply for a job, definitely out of 10 candidates, you will be looked upon one of the potential candidates because you carry the certification or title of a certified facility manager. So these are some of the courses. Plus, if you are engineering graduate in any disciple, the priority is always given to electrical, civil, or mechanical, because largely building has got larger element
Yeah.
to play with it. So if you are anything, even if you are an architect, either of these domain will make you reach to facility management service. Or if you are a graduate, you can always do project management professional course and join facility management, because there are a lot of project management. You have to do a lot of project management activities. There are a lot of project or a scrum activities which happen in a facility management. So that's where you can do Six Sigma or a black belt, because there are a lot of projects which needs to be managed in much efficient way. So there are a lot of professionals available. If it's not that you are a graduate, you should have a passion and you should have a intent to learn. If you are a hospitality graduate, you can move to facility management. If you are merely a graduate, also you can move to a facility management. But then you over a period of time, keep an instinct open, try to learn things, like to educate yourself, because your role has to get enhanced, your role has to scale up, and then you take up the qualification as per your interest, and then you can make your career growth prospect taken ahead further from there.
Okay, that was really great. So we are done with our Q&A session, sir. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have discussed career in facility management. With that, I would like to thank Dr. Abhijeet Sarkar, sir, for giving us valuable time and having an impactful discussion today.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Chinmay. It was really a great session. Thank you once again for moderating it so well.
You're most welcome, sir. And also, I would like to thank Sri Sunil Rane, sir, Executive President, Atharva Group of Institute, Dr. R.J. Ratnawat, sir, Director AIMS, and Dr. Shubhilal Agarwal, ma'am, Director Internal Quality Assurance Cell, Atharva Institute of Management Studies, for guiding us and avail us a chance to introduce IT Talk Show. And thank you all for joining us, and stay tuned for upcoming IT Talks episode. And thank you all. Thank you, sir. Have a great day, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.